Just look at those beautiful surroundings. We're at the foot of the Chiltern Hills. Racehorses clearly seem to be thriving here when they come into training with Lawney Hill alongside her husband Alan Hill, a successful point-to-point trainer. I'm here at Woodway Farm in Aston Rowant, Oxfordshire, and we can see that from this base over the last couple of seasons, Lawney's notched up a really impressive strike rate that's put her on the map as a trainer seriously going places.
Take him once more in behind, then take him once on his own. Okay. Much better.
So this indoor barn is where Alan's pointers live. This is one of them, be a familiar name to you, Dante Storm. There's Mid-Div and Creep over there, so they've been very successful. Often, plenty of horses will start their career here and end up here, like these two fellas who are in Lawney's yard, running under rules. And the whole thing can work vice versa. Plenty of horses that run successfully under rules can then switch back to the point field. And that, I think, is just one of the secrets of Alan and Lawney's success.
We have two yards. We have a yard by the house here, which is Lawney's yard. She has 23 stables. She has, and her set stables, they are her 23 stables. And then I converted a grain store that we were not using to be made redundant, and I've put over there 14 stables, stroke 15 stables in a big barn, and then my stables over there for the point-to-point yard. She has her horse walker over here, I have my horse walker. It is 2 yards, so that it works very well. We're close enough, but we are 2 units.
He's brilliant at doing, like, you know, sorting out the gallops, the fences, and he loves doing the entries as well. I do more entries now than I used to because we've got more horses.
How did it come about deciding to go for the licence then, to train under rules, and why you?
Well, it was just after Foot and Mouth, quite a few of the horses that we had, we couldn't run in point-to-points. The hunter traces were oversubscribed, so a lot of people moved their horses to other trainers. And after that, it took quite a while to sort of get ourselves going again, because then the horses stayed with the other trainers. And so then also when they decided that with the ban on fox hunting coming in, Alan said he wasn't going to be a master of hounds any longer. So we thought, well, we'll go, you know, we'll branch out, we'll give it 5 years, see how it goes. First 2 years were all right, then we had sort of very much one barren year, and then things have just increased, you know, gone really from strength to strength.
The last couple of years you really have flourished.
Yes, it suddenly it's sort of picked up, and, you know, and it's running now, so we've got to keep the momentum going.
Lawney, this is just beautiful. Here on Woodway Farm, this is very appealing to a horse. I think if you brought an owner down here and they stood at this point and watched their horse, they'd think what a perfect setup to be training in.
It is a lovely setup, and today obviously the weather is so nice, which makes it even better. But I think it's good, it helps relax them to bring them up round here out of the way. Otherwise, if they go straight out of the stable onto the gallop, I always think that must be fairly boring for them.
As far as the rest of your facilities are concerned, we'll be taking a look at the all-weather surface that you've had put in. How does that really work alongside this?
With the all-weather, it's just like an oblong 3 furlong round track. It's very, very good for the slow cantering, for getting the muscle on, getting them fit. Here you've got a little bit more of a hill, and also you can go fast around here. You can do sort of sprints from the bottom up. So it's another asset really.
So Lawney, they've gone out and done their sort of warm-up, if you like, and then you've brought them here to the all-weather 3 furlong round.
Yes.
And they're going to go around 3 times. Why?
Well, it's basically old-fashioned interval training, like Michael Dickinson used to do years ago. It's just trying to get the horses fit. And also, they come on here and they go steadily cantering. They're not galloping quickly anywhere, they settle down. It's very good for gassy horses because they never go fast around here, so they learn to settle. So it's what we've done really, because we haven't got a massively steep hill here, so we have to use what facilities we've got. So we put this all-weather canter down. It's coming up for 6 years now, and it really has helped us tremendously, because the horses come here and they get properly fit, and that's the most important thing.
I'm very impressed just at how settled they are, even though they've had that trot round, they just all seem to come out here and they're, again, pretty relaxed, or at least they learn to wait and be patient and behave themselves.
Yes, I mean, obviously, to begin with, you know, some of them think it's very exciting because they keep thinking they're going to go faster. But they learn to settle in the end, and it gets that solid muscle on them. And then when they go over, we've got some an all-weather gallop that we use, which is 20 minutes away. And so when they go there, they are muscularly fit. It's just that, then it's just for the aerobic exercise, just to sort of, you know, get their lungs, get their wind right. Before we had an all-weather, we would always use the grass. And again, the theory there would be slow cantering around the grass. But then we realised, you know, obviously, when you get a licence out, you've got to be training all year round, and you've got to keep ahead of other people if you can, you know, and so having an all-weather was something we had to do, and it's proved absolutely invaluable. It really has.
And also, I think working horses in this oval shape, getting them used to going around bends.
Yes, we obviously go both ways, so that they get used to going around bends, balancing themselves. I mean, we've had some horses here who've either only gone up steep hills or only gone in a straight line. Well, what race courses for jumpers are in a straight line?
Jockey Harry Skelton has developed a successful relationship with the yard. He schools the horses regularly, and this has paid off on track, where he has a 40% strike rate on Lawney's runners.
My first 2 rides for her were winners, and I didn't come and ride out here before, and she asked and said, you know, just come down and ride out, and obviously they've got some nice horses, and it's a growing yard. They've got really good schooling facilities. Alan does a brilliant job in the summer with watering, so they can school all year round, which is a big help. And you know, they've obviously got the round flat canter and a good work gallop as well. So, you know, mainly when you ride for her, you know they're always very fit, and they're going to keep galloping for you.
Another up-and-coming young jockey to join the team is David Bass, somebody who Lawney spotted in the early stages of his career.
Luckily, Lawney decided to use me when I had a £7 claim last season, and my second ride for her was a winner. So she used me last summer. Just, you know, I had a £7 claim. She used me on quite a few horses to get a bit of weight off their backs, and you know, it's just built up from there really. I really like riding for Lawney. I like riding her horses. They're very fit, jump very well, and you know, she's a growing yard. You know, people are wanting to send her horses, which is good. So you know, I'd want to keep it going as long as possible.
Ski Sunday, Lawney, has been really a bit of a flagship horse for you.
He's been a wonderful horse for us. He came here after he'd been both at Tim Vaughan's and Nicky Henderson's, and we ran him at Kempton, and he won the Lanzarote. He won it very well. We were very pleased with him. We took him to Cheltenham. He ran really well. There were 4 of them in line in the last hurdle, in the county hurdle, and then I think, to be fair, he was just run out of it up the hill. And he didn't get the run of the race at Aintree at all, and he just, when he jumped the last, a horse in front of him had fallen, I think it was Ruby's, and it just caught him on the leg, so he's just actually got a very small injury to his leg, but no, he's been a wonderful horse.
Yet another win to add to his collection, flat and hurdling. What's up, Doc? For Michael Clark and Lawney Hill.
Very different sort of horse for you to have, who's obviously, I think, served you proud over different codes, is What's Up, Doc?
Doc's amazing. We say that Doc probably does his own entries and can probably drive himself to the lorries, to the races, because he's just brilliant. He's won 5 on the flat, 2 over hurdles and 1 over fences, and he's just a wonderful horse to have around. He really is. He's been a great servant to us.
Lawney has developed something of a reputation of taking horses from other people's yards and revitalising them. A perfect example of this is the former Paul Nicholls-trained Font, who won decisively at Fontwell recently.
He's raced on to about a 4-length lead up the running, kept going out in front. Owner Harry Skelton from Mighty Monty, then came Island News in third, and racing up towards the line. Font goes on to win at Fontwell.
Can it be a bit daunting, perhaps, if you go to the sales and you're looking at something, you find a nice horse, you think it might not have too many miles on the clock or whatever, but you think, oh, that's come from Paul Nicholls, that's come from Nicky Henderson. Am I going to improve it?
Definitely, of course that's a worry, especially with, you know, horses coming from people like that. But again, I would say that in those very big yards, it isn't easy to keep your eye on all the horses all the time, even though they've got, both of those yards have got brilliant staff. There's always going to be 1 or 2 that, you know, thrive from just a different environment. And this is very different cantering around here than going up the hill at Ditchett, obviously. So it's got to be you know, a totally different environment may suit some, may not.
What will be the plan with Mid-Devon Creek now?
I think what she's done this year certainly is I'm gobsmacked by her, and I've seen the mare and watched her over the years with great affection, but I will say that she stood on the big stage and done the job very, very well. So hopefully she'll come back here next year, and maybe Fox Hunters, maybe there could be a little bit of an idea, and maybe she may go into Lawney's yard to run on the softer ground through the winter.
A tactical affair may have just caught out Dante Storm and Philip York, and they were beaten by useful hunter chaser Eliza. However, there are targets ahead for this classy chaser, including the feature hunter chase at Stratford later this month.
I'd love to get him to the Horse and Hound Cup, 3.5 mile Stratford, fast course. He has all the speed in the world. It would be brilliant, but it will depend on what the ground. If the word firm is anywhere in the going, I know the owner will be very apprehensive.
Oh, there's barely a whisker in it, and to Charlie the Grey, Decision battling very gamely far side, and Decision into Charlie, and they're together on the run-in, and now Decision regains the lead in the final 100 yards, got his name back in front, very game, Decision got there.
Decision is a horse who, well, he came from Clive Cox.
Yes, he did.
Originally
yeah.
after Flat, and he's been hurdling.
He's been very frustrating. He's actually finally now got his act together, and he's won 2, and he's really battles hard. But I really thought that he was going to be a superstar when he came here. He schooled brilliantly straight away. You know, he galloped well. He just took a long time to find his feet, and then he had a wind up. And then the first time after the wind up, he didn't run great. And finally, he's found his feet. We've run him over a bit further. You know, he's running over 2-3 now, and also firmer ground, and he loves it. He's been a real good little horse recently.
Universal Soldier, he's won a couple of his starts.
He's won one for us. He only ran the once for us. Harry Skelton rode him at Chepstow, and I wasn't quite sure whether his rating, I thought his rating at the time was a little high, but in fact, to be fair, he galloped and stayed all day. He had picked up a minor injury when he ran there, which he's absolutely fine now, and he should be coming back to us probably the end of August, something like that. But very exciting prospect for the new season.
Okay, so we've got David on the grey horse.
Sir Ronan, who he won point-to-pointing for Alan. Can be clumsy. That's better. He ran point-to-pointing for Alan last year, and then he ran so nicely and came to the end of the season. I said to David Spearing, his owner, look, I really would like to have a go with him under rules. And he sort of said, oh, well, you know, you do what you think best. He was ever so sweet. Anyway, so we ran him under rules. First time he was second in a hurdle, and then he won a hurdle next time out. So, you know, he actually proved to be a bit of fun. He's better at jumping these easy fix hurdles, like the brush hurdles like they have at Worcester and Haydock. And Southwell, because I think he pays more attention to them. But I think after he's run a couple of times hurdling this season, he'll probably go over fences, because his jumping has come together recently. It was definitely a little bit awkward when he first came to us. He's just going to take Ronan once on his own now, just because he's scored a couple of times already this season, but he's just, as he's getting fitter, he's now just getting a little bit lit, so just want to... And when he gets lit, he stops using his brain. No, he can't stop there. He's not concentrating at all, is he? That's it. Yay, that's it. Okay, good.
Lawney, why were you especially happy with that last one with Sir Ronan?
He's sometimes doing more, they do it worse, but in fact he had to go again. I hate finishing on a bad note. You can never finish when they've jumped badly. I'd rather go again and again to get it right. So the first one he got close to, but the second one he jumped nicely. So yes, so today the schooling has progressed because he's gone through a bad patch but come out of it the other side happier.
No shortage of enthusiasm though, even with that last one I think he was looking for the next
one. No, he is, he's a lovely horse. He's just, wouldn't say be the sharpest, whereas these two are quite sharp.
So we'll take a look round now. We're going to see Font Harry's just on, and David's on
King Aussie.
King Aussie.
1, 2, 3, lovely. 1, 2, 3. Oh! Font was great there. know, we do a lot of schooling with our horses. We school them once, twice a week, which is why we water this strip here so that it is in good condition all the time. And so it really makes a big difference, all the schooling.
So you think that frequency is important rather than coming out here and doing this sort of 12 times in one hit once a week? It's better to do 2 or 3
definitely,
times,
because also we always school them the day before they run. If you think you're just bending those back muscles again and strengthening them all the time. As I say, David Beckham kicks a ball every day, doesn't he? You know, and it's practice, practice, practice. Yeah, that was fine.
Whether it's under rules or in the point field, Lawney and Alan Hill have proven their ability to nurture young talent, keep seasoned campaigners at the top of their game and revitalise horses who may have lost their way. And with both trainers boasting very impressive strike rates this season, statistically, it pays to keep a close eye on all of the runners from Woodway Farm.